So another paper talk. So today we've switched it up a bit actually, since we've been stuck with the whole Maguire, Bruno Fernandes stuff, De Gea contract, and there's something new that's come out about David Neres. So we're just going to start off with that, and then we're going to go on to speak about a bit about the tour, Paul Pogba, and all that good stuff. So Atletico Madrid and Manchester United have expressed their interest in David Neres. There's no concrete offers as of yet. That's according to Sky Germany, who are actually quite reliable. Again, I do think, with sources like Sky and that, in Germany, they usually do get a lot of the Dutch stuff spot on. So I do believe we could be interested in him. Ajax, I wouldn't expect them to look for anything above 40 million. If you look at, how much they're looking for De Ligt, De Jong, if you compare that, you won't think that Neres' value is going to go over that 40 million. So for me, Neres is a bit, on and off. In the Champions League, when I did watch him, he put in some brilliant performances. When I did watch some of the league games for Ajax, he wasn't really part of that standout group. Van der Beek, De Jong, De Ligt again, Blind as well. He didn't really stand out for me as much. He didn't really fit their style maybe as much. He's a bit of a flair player, and I do think, having the likes of Martial or Rashford right now, I don't think it's someone that we particularly need. Now, Daniel James is a bit of a different signing, more of a direct player. He's got that pace about him, whereas Neres loves to take a bit more time on the ball. And I do think we can't really accommodate that right now, especially if Paul Pogba does stick around. You got Martial or Pogba, who both love keeping the ball at the feet quite a lot and looking to create. It still might be a good option, like I said, if you can get him under 40 million. Add another attacking option if you lose the likes of Lukaku, and Martial moves to more of a striker. Now, moving on, Manchester United look like they've landed in Australia for the tour. They kick off in Perth. Now, the videos, obviously, you guys will see of them just landing over there, United fans gathering at the airport. I am quite excited, actually, about the tour. Seeing some of the lads, the younger lads, come there. So at the end of the day, I do think, I am a bit disappointed, with Dylan Levitt and, not really going there. When he looks at the likes of Garner, Chong and all that have gone, and then him being left out is quite disappointing. Anyways, guys, the other one we're looking at is Paul Pogba, of course. There was a lot of talk about him going to the tour or not going to the tour, and he has turned up. He didn't look too happy with that in the end, to be fair. Now, Savic, apparently, United are assessing his situation. Until we do get an offer for Paul Pogba that United are happy enough with, they won't really go ahead with anything with Savic. He has been, obviously, marketed around 120 mil, which is a bit too much. If you're looking at selling Pogba around that price range as well, he's obviously a better player all around, in my opinion. Savic is sort of, a goal-scoring, midfielder, similar to Pogba in terms of that. But in terms of creativity, Pogba, I think, is a level above. And if we're looking at selling Pogba for around 150 million, 120 million for Savic, which is what Lazio are asking for, might be a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. And I don't think it's the right deal to go ahead with. Especially at 120 million, you can probably get two solid midfielders, maybe a Thomas Partey and a Bruno Fernandes, who can maybe cover a bit of what Pogba gives you in terms of goals from midfield. Moving on to the next point we've got here is Dean Henderson. Now, of course, Dean Henderson didn't travel with Manchester United to Australia for the tour. The Sun have picked up on it. As we know, they're not always the most reliable. But, that's what we've got right now. So, obviously, it looks like the United goalkeeper's going to probably head to Sheffield, which, obviously I think is a good move for him. If United are going to stick with De Gea, there's no point in him being the second keeper if you're going to get Premier League experience, facing, some of the top teams in the league. You're going to face some of the likes, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Liverpool. That's a level above what he did in the Championship, of course. He's best keeper there last season. But that is a level above, and that's when you can really test Dean Henderson. He's still 22, still a lot of time for him to learn. We know how goalkeepers are. They do stick around for a long time. So I guess if we can tie De Gea down for a contract, 350k is absolutely mental. But, when you look at Sanchez and how much he's earning, it won't be a surprise at the end of the day, if United do go ahead with that 350k offer. Now, the final report we're looking at is from Germany. It looks like Wayne Rooney has actually advised Jadon Sancho to stick around at Dortmund. Not move to Manchester United this summer. It's not particularly saying don't come to United in general. I think it's more, going next season. And I do think that might be the right move for himself and the club. I think the issue that we've got right now is that we've not figured out a system. And, you know, if we're looking at playing a diamond, does Sancho fit into that? And then, you know, he's wasted his career at United. It's another big signing that doesn't go well. And then, you know, sort of fall into a similar problem with the whole Pogba thing. So it's a bit of a, you know, dangerous situation to spend over 100 million on a player and you've not figured out a system. We don't really know how Ollie's going to do next season. So I think it is a bit of a risk, and it's understandable that, you know, Rooney is saying that it might not be the right move this summer. Personally, I do agree with that. I think I'd wait until next summer if I'm him, and Manchester United as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for the Paper Talk today. Make sure you guys catch us soon, and see you guys back.